Welcome back to another episode of Shameless Sourdough, where I refuse to let the sourdough process beat me down, and I also refuse to follow instructions, and I'm very impatient. Once you know what sourdough consistency needs to look like, you really don't need a scale. You know what the proportions are supposed to be, and that the dough needs to look shaggy. I'm convinced that I can eyeball it and still have a successful loaf, so follow along as I attempt to make a shameless sourdough, and don't guilt me into not following instructions, please. I really feel like baking should be fun, and in a lot of ways, the sourdough community has made it feel unapproachable to the everyday home baker. Lots of people are intimidated to try sourdough, and I'm here to prove that it is not intimidating. It is fairly easy once you understand the basics, and you can do it. So basically the proportions here are 1 part starter to 2 parts water to 3 parts flour, but I did split my flour because I used both bread flour and whole wheat flour. And then I'm just letting it rest at 30-minute intervals before doing folds. And the first fold I like to do with a spoon because it is a bit sticky. Your dough should be fairly wet. I waited to add the salt until the second fold because I wanted to give my dough the best chance possible at rising and preparing that gluten structure. And as you can see, it was quite stretchy and beautiful. Again, I just want to reiterate that baking should be fun. Yes, it's chemistry, but once you understand the basic components of any recipe, you can do this. It can be enjoyable and approachable at home. It does not have to be intimidating or scary, and shame on those who shame you. This is not that. This is the shameless sourdough community. After the third fold, I shaped my loaf, and I don't have a banneton. Again, you don't need special equipment to do sourdough. People were doing sourdough before bannetons were even a thing. And definitely before Amazon was available and TikTok Shop was available to sell you stuff. So don't feel like you don't have the right equipment. Look at her. She's bubbly, she's active, she's alive. I formed the loaf, I cut the design, and I popped this sucker into the oven, and she came out beautiful. So don't be scared to try. I hope this gives you the courage that you need to get started and give it a shot. From my kitchen to yours, happy baking.